G'day guys and welcome to Retrospectreviews. I'm Vince and it's that time of year where I go and look for discounted Paladone lights. Now there is a few videos now in playlists, so I'll leave a link in the description or there'll be a playlist at the end of this video if you want to go and check those ones out. Now this year unfortunately I was only able to pick up two that were discounted. And they are, which you probably saw in the thumbnail, the Super Mario Light and the Gameboy Light. Not the Gameboy Light, the Gameboy Light. Now, I have seen packages of this online where it has the Paladone logo up the top. So I'm assuming this is the same thing. I don't know why it's not on this packaging. But, yeah, how similar it is, I'll be very surprised if it's not made by the same company. But let's start off with having a look at the Super Mario Light. Then we'll move on to the Game Boy one. So we'll have a look at the packaging first. So no plastic holding it, keeping it dust free on the shelf. Pretty basic packaging. A bit of a demonstration of what it does there. On the back here is just another picture of Mario, and then a bit more information about the product. Super Light, push down to turn on and off. It can be powered by battery or USB powered. Now I'm not sure if it's gonna come with a USB cable. Some do, some don't. So we'll have a look for that when we open it. And it takes 3 AAA batteries and pretty much all the standard manufacturing products. Now these usually, where I got this one from, was selling them originally for 30 Australian dollars. They reduced it to 30 and I eventually picked it up for 15. I don't normally like picking them up for that price, but I did notice last year they weren't discounting them as heavily as they were the previous years. And I did notice that a lot of the stock from last year had been put back on the shelf for this year. So I'd say they've not buying the quantity they did when I first started picking them up for near nothing. Okay, so let's open the packaging and have a look inside. So it's got a bit of security tape, which is a nice change because if anyone watched the videos last year, you'd know that half the packaging weren't sealed anymore. People had opened them. So there's one here which is new. I don't normally have a security seal there. And we've got one here. Oh, this is been, there we go. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all the seals broken on this one, so let's see if we can get into it. Okay, it looks like it just opens up like this. Okay, so it opens up like that, so that's a bit easier. Notice how it just slides out. So we got a nice fake background. Nothing on the back there. So what else is in the box is the instructions, and it does come with a USB cable, so that's pretty cool. I'd say a lot of us have these, but multiple of these I should say. But I guess if you don't have one, but you're still going to have to get your own USB power bank, or if you're lucky enough to live in a house that has the USB jacks on the power switch or the power outlet, so you wouldn't have to get a brick. But so you do get those. That's good. And the instructions are pretty basic. It's only one page of instructions. Don't know if you can read that, but if you want to have a study, you could probably pause that, get that a bit closer. But it also tells you the wattage of the USB cable and that, so that's probably handy instructions. But I'm going to put batteries in this one. So let's have a look at the actual statue here of Mario. So it's not bad. It's made out of that recyclable plastic, so it's not too environmentally damaging. So I'll just give it a rotation. So there's your plug for your USB-C, I think it is. Micro USB, sorry. So I'm not sure if that's so it's a micro USB plug and cable. But detail's nice. So I quite like that. So down there's the bottom. So we got, so it is, the battery compartment is screwed on. So that's good. I have had a few of those where there is no screw. So I'll undo that and we'll put batteries in it and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've undone the screw here now. It's a nice long screw, so that's good. It won't come loose.
That's what she said!
There's the inside. As you can see, you got to put 3 batteries in. So I probably won't screw the bottom on here.
Oh, behave.
It's a tight fit.
Stop it. Get some help.
But there we go. So I won't screw the bottom on this time. It's not necessary, but if I was keeping this on display, I would. So there it is there. Let's turn it on. So that's what it looks like when we have other lights. So what I'll do now, I'll turn off these other lights and we will see what it looks like in the dark. Okay, so that gives you a bit of an idea of what it's like in the dark. Well, look, I am filming this through the day, but I might see if I can get a shot of it at night. So I might reshoot at night just to show what it looks like when there is no outside light as well. But that's pretty bright. If you had that on your bedside table, it's a bit brighter than some of the smaller ones, which look more like a night light than an actual lamp. This is a little bit brighter than that, but not by much. So you probably couldn't read a book by this, but if you just needed a bit of light to help, you know, see what you're doing when you're playing games, or for your kids, you know, they can see, you know, if they wake up and need to go to the bathroom, they can see where the door is or whatever. But yeah, that's not too bad. Now there is no other function except for on and off. But yeah, I quite like that. The light source is in a good spot, so it's not taking away too much detail from Mario. Mario looks quite good. And it's not lighting up any part of the figurine that is necessary, like the base. So yeah, I reckon if you had that on just in the corner somewhere, it'd be a nice little thing to look at when you are waiting for a game to update, or just taking a quick break from gaming. So as I promised, here is the Mario Light in complete darkness. I filmed this at night, so you get an idea of how bright it is in a really dark room without any outside light. So yeah, it's pitch black outside and pitch black inside. So the only light source at the moment is Mario. But yeah, I quite like that. Right, let's move on to the Game Boy. Now this was retailed where I got it from for, I think it was $15 originally, and I only got $5 off, so I got it for $10. A little bit more than what I would like to pay for something like this, but I think I've seen it in other stores where it goes for $20 and maybe a bit more. But let's have a look at the packaging. So it just says Game Boy. It's got light up here. A picture of the Game Boy, what it's meant to do. It has the Nintendo brand on it. Not much on that side. Just says light. Here it just it's pretty basic as well. So it takes 3 AAAs. Just shows a picture of what it's meant to do. And it's a light, and it's a Nintendo official product apparently. So light. So I don't know if they did a collab with Nintendo, but yeah, I have seen ones at other stores that have Paladone up here, but this one, for some reason, there is none of that written on the packaging. So let's open it up and see if we can find some more information. This one has still the security seal. Let's see here. Okay, that's not sealed to crash out. Okay, I've wrecked the packaging there. Well, what can you do? Okay, so we start off, we got some instructions, a little bit more plastic. I'm not too fond of that kind of style of plastic. Okay, so it's on a little stand. That's it. There's nothing else in the box. It does look like you could have a USB cable in there, but yeah, that's all there is in this packaging. Okay, so we'll just turn that around and we'll start off there. Okay, so it's one page again. So this is, I don't think you can power this by USB, doesn't say. But there's the instructions. Hopefully you can see that, and pause it if you want to read it. But basically it's just warnings, and it has where the on-off switch is up the top. Okay. And let's have a look at this. So it's just one solid piece of plastic. It has Super Mario Land on the front, so it's the beginning of the Game Boy Super Mario Land intro. I wonder if that light lights up or not, but I think it does look like it's just painted on. So it does look like my original Game Boy. Hang on. Let's compare. Okay, so here that's the light. This is the original. So the light's a little bit bigger, I'd say. But overall, looks not too dissimilar. Except for the fact my Game Boy, I've just realised, is starting to yellow. So that's not good. It was closer to this colour than it was to this kind of off grey going yellow kind of look. So yeah, that's something I might have to attend to. Okay, so that's so it's got all the same kind of buttons. It's kind of got where the speakers is, so it's not too far off the original. The screen's a little bit bigger though. So there's the back of the original, and here's the back of the light. So it's got a little stand to help it stand up a bit better. So it's not too terrible. Okay, so let's we'll put away my original Game Boy. And we'll turn this back around. So yeah, and there's the on-off switch like on the original. There is no real cartridge slot. But we'll put some batteries in and we'll see what it looks like. Once again, reasonably decent screw holding it down.
That's what she said. No.
Not too much to do in there when it comes to the bay for the batteries, and it's very light, so it's not too heavy. Easily knocked over, but I don't think you'd be too worried if it got broken, but I couldn't see how this could get broken too much. So I don't think you really need to put that in, but we'll just sit that like that for now. Okay, let's turn it on, see what it looks like. Okay, well, that's quite bright. So you can definitely tell there's really nothing inside the shell. It's pretty empty actually. So let's turn off the lights and see how bright this is. This actually might be brighter than the Mario, especially with the white case. Definitely a lot brighter. Once again, I will slip in what this looks like at night when there's no outside ambient. Once again, here is the Game Boy Light at night. It's pitch black outside once again, And yeah, this is giving off a lot more light. You can see a lot further away from the light than you could with the Mario. But that pretty much, yeah, it's pretty light. Like there is a lot of light. But once again, I don't think technically you could read by this. But it would be a good night light, or just a good ambient light if you were playing games and you don't like, a lot of people don't like playing with the overhead lights on, so that'd give you enough light to see your keyboard, see any little bit of paperwork that you might, some notes that you've taken or something. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend reading a novel by it. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. So it's not meant to be a real Game Boy or have that kind of look to it. It's more of a novelty display piece. But yeah, overall, I'm quite impressed with that. Well, before we go, I did remember we're going to see if this had any notes on if it's a product by Paladone or not. Oh, get the instructions out, see if I can see the words on here. There's nothing written here to say who makes it, but let's have a look on the back and see if I can see if there's a manufacturing on the actual back. Oh yeah, I don't know if it'll come up on the camera, but just there it does say Paladone. I'll see if I can get a better picture of that if it doesn't show on the camera, and I'll insert it about here. But yeah, so that's the Paladone Gameboy Light and the Mario Light. I'm quite impressed with those this year. Some of the others have been a bit of hit and miss, but I'm going to say these two, I'm quite chuffed with them. Definitely going on display. Most of the others I've kept in the box, but I might actually keep these two out and put them up. Make a bit of room for them and put them up somewhere. Well, that's it. That is my review of the Super Mario Light and the Game Boy Light by Paladone. Now, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts were on these two lights, and if you have any recommendations of other Paladone lights you think I should review. Now, these, I don't tend to spend my game budget on buying these. That's why I usually pick them up at a discount. But if you want to help me fund to make more of these a bit more often, and you want to donate a bit of money, there is a thank you button down below. There also is a PayPal button link in the description. If you just want to help out, maybe chuck a few coins towards buying more of these Paladone lights, and I can review them a bit more. But that's okay if you can't help out. A thank you in the comments, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe and hit the notification bell, because it really helps out the channel. That's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.
And in the future, if I want to say something funny or witty or do an impression, I will no longer ever do any of those things.
It's a nice long screws. It's tight fit, but there we go. Reasonably decent screw holding it down.
That's what she said.
Michael, please.